Raising Children in the 21st Century. The actor Ewan McGregor once said, "The thing about parenting roles is there aren't any. That's what makes it so difficult." It's safe to say that the vast majority of parents want to raise happy, healthy, and successful children. This is our most basic nurturing instinct. However, while the expectations from parents have remained relatively the same, the rules around these expectations have changed. The concern is no longer, am I raising my child, but instead, am I raising my child well enough? Modern parents have more desire than ever to put time, attention, and money into their children, even if it means struggling to balance more work outside the home than their predecessors from other eras did. Most people are familiar with the old adage, spare the rod and spoil the child. Many of us or our parents and grandparents might have been raised under this mantra. A visit to the comment section under any video of a child throwing a tantrum in the supermarket will quickly familiarize you with this mindset. It isn't yet unusual to find parents and their grown children alike joyfully recalling their worst beating, how they were not allowed to speak or did not allow speech in the presence of adults, and how they, under no circumstances, were permitted to make their own choices independently from their parents. This mindset is associated with authoritarian parenting, which is one parenting style with low warmth, low responsiveness, and high demands. If you've ever heard a parent tell an inquisitive child, "because I said so," and end the conversation, then you have encountered authoritarian parenting. The goal of this parenting style is not to nurture, but to enforce discipline at all costs. On the opposite end of the spectrum is neglectful parenting, in which the child is completely disregarded and dismissed. According to a 2019 study by Martin Pincart and Dana Christian Girk, authoritarian and neglectful parenting styles were linked to low self-esteem. As more data on raising children and its link to mental wellness comes out, more modern parents are shifting towards authoritative parenting for their own children. This parenting style is marked by high warmth and high responsiveness. Parents set boundaries for their children but are sensitive and responsive to their children's needs. This style is linked to higher levels of self-esteem. However, due to the nature of this parenting style, it requires a high level of attentiveness. This can be complicated for households with two working parents, and especially so for households with one parent. In a study on poverty, Jana H. Chowdhury states that emotionally available caregiving is associated with secure attachment patterns in both mothers and children. Additionally, a New York Times article on the relentlessness of modern parenting opens up with the powerful and true statement that parenthood in the United States has become much more demanding than it used to be. Young single mothers are the most likely to be at a disadvantage. With only one parental figure in the home, they often need to leave the home to work. Single parents who are forced to work extended hours in order to make ends meet in the home may be less receptive to this parenting style due to the emotional, mental, and financial strain. This strain can also take a toll on the mental health of children from these levels of society. A.J. Chowdhury and Christopher Weimer state in their study on poverty and child well-being that children who experience poverty for at least 1 year of their childhood tend to have worse outcomes than children who never experience poverty. Additionally, in 2013, 5.4 million children younger than 6 years lived in poverty, and 40% of all children younger than 6 years experienced early childhood poverty lasting at least 1 year. Longer periods of poverty are associated with poor cognitive outcomes. African American children are more likely to remain in persistent poverty than other racial and ethnic groups, with African American newborns born into poor families being twice as likely to remain poor than newborns born into the same circumstances. The effects of this poverty can be catastrophic. These children are less likely to graduate from high school and earn less money as adults. They are also more likely to be incarcerated and have higher rates of teen pregnancies. Today's parents are aware of the potential for shortcomings. Through the internet and social media, they are informed, and many are willing to invest more time into their children. Mothers who can afford the time to spend with their children spend a lot of it. Leisure time is sacrificed for the child's benefit, leading to up to 5 hours a week spent on engaging with their children, over 3 hours more than mothers in 1975. There is a well deserved push from the world of pediatrics to focus on the well being of children. However, there is little push for further resources. Paid parental leave is still a topic of contention. Wages are not calculated to factor in the childcare that is necessary for their employees to come to work, nor accommodating of the erratic schedules that often accompany parenthood. In the 21st century, the concept of raising children has become more precarious than it used to be. Rather than expectation, it requires strategic planning, negotiations, and sacrifices. For many families, it becomes a balancing act between the mental stability of the parent and that of the child. This is reflective of the individualistic mindset upon which the United States flourishes. Despite living and working in a society, each family must figure out how to raise their children individually while simultaneously preparing them to be critiqued by the wider world. Despite its family's best efforts to save for childcare, poorer families may struggle against the rising costs of caring for children. Childcare needs to be accessible and affordable. If not so, then employers will need to offer employees flexible schedules and survivable wages. More access to affordable or insurance-based family counseling resources may also provide a benefit in that they would open a channel through which modern parents who need mental health services themselves or even advice on raising children can find the help they need. Social media has often also proven to be a reliable vehicle for emotional support when used appropriately. Methods such as crowdsourcing have been effective in moving along the process of change. During the COVID-19 pandemic, both parents and children increased their social media usage, which provided a medium through which they were able to connect and discover resources and, and communities in order to get the help they need. By providing these resources to families, we can give all children a better chance to thrive and a chance to reach their potential.